Diabetes is more prevalent than ever and 95% of cases diagnosed are type 2 diabetes. There are several causes for this potentially deadly illness, but aging consumers who are overweight have the highest chance of developing diabetic complications. The list of comorbidities associated with this disease is extensive. Diabetics can develop low or high blood sugar and go into shock, which can be deadly. Anyone who has been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes should be working closely with their personal physician to determine a sustainable long-term treatment plan. Insulin injections are typically recommended. One of the tricky things about diabetes, however, is that it isn't really curable in a traditional sense. Most people who develop type 2 diabetes will remain diabetic until the day they die. Depressing, right? The modern medical industry emphasizes symptom management as the priority when treating diabetes. Instead of attempting to repair the body and eliminate the cause of diabetes, most medicines are made to adjust the body's insulin production and blood sugar levels in the short term. A growing movement of health professionals has begun to recommend a more comprehensive treatment plan to address the root cause of diabetes. Losing weight and eating healthily are great ways to help address type 2 diabetes. People who lose a significant amount of weight almost invariably report a decrease in the severity of diabetic symptoms. Some scientists even believe that the most important consideration when it comes to treating diabetes naturally is not how much you eat, but what you eat. Diabetes Freedom is an ebook that claims to identify and help readers address the root cause of diabetes. The program was supposedly created by Professor James Freeman, who apparently helped the creator of the product website to defeat the condition using these very methods. With over 700 million people projected to suffer from diabetes worldwide by 2045, it's clear that diabetes cures should be carefully vetted. Supplements are especially likely to be ineffective or scams. We recommend that you research and speak with your doctor before buying any new diabetes treatment product. Stay glued to your screen to learn everything you need to know about Diabetes Freedom, including information on the guide's contents and the people behind it. Diabetes Freedom, what is it? Diabetes Freedom is a program that teaches consumers about the foods that they can add to their daily meal routines to improve blood sugar levels and reverse their diabetes type 2 with a powerful blend of ingredients. The program recommends many vegetables throughout the month, and various bonus guides allow users to expand on the recipes they incorporate. Anyone who has faced type 2 diabetes before understands the risks associated with it. The creator behind a program called Diabetes Freedom speaks from personal experience, calling back to a time when he was threatened with the loss of a limb for the sake of saving him. Diabetes can cause significant damage to the nerves throughout the body, and there are many stories of patients having to amputate their feet as a way to save their life. Blood sugar issues can cause many other health problems. Spiking too high can pose a significant risk to the brain, even putting the body into a coma. While this condition is not technically curable, there are steps that consumers can take in their daily life to help reverse this condition before it becomes uncontrollable. Most doctors will advise their patients to take on a healthier diet, but this advice is incomplete. Consumers need to understand what food changes that they need to make for a major difference in their routine. That's where Diabetes Freedom comes in. Diabetes Freedom teaches consumers about the choices that they need to make to improve their health. While most people believe that this condition's true etiology is based on family history, weight, or overeating carbohydrates, the creators challenge this idea by introducing their own natural yet effective way to improve the body. Much of the method centered around eating certain ingredients, though users will need to purchase the Diabetes Freedom program to see everything. Since this program works around eating better foods for the body, there's an inherent benefit to this program beyond the reversal of diabetes. Whenever diet changes are implemented for the better, consumers start to shed extra weight, which is true of Diabetes Freedom. In fact, the creator behind this program found that he could shed about 42 pounds during these changes. The program will outline the methods of shedding the weight as well, which means that consumers will take on their health in as many ways as possible. Though creator George Riley discovered this applicable method of reversing diabetes, consumers should not move away from their routine without speaking with a doctor. Any stop in medication should be first discussed with a doctor to ensure that the transition is safely done. Risk factors for type 2 diabetes. Type 2 diabetes is caused by the lack of response to the insulin that the body releases. Without accepting it, the sugar in the blood skyrockets and causes the body's fat to surround essential organs. Because of this issue, one of the biggest risks for diabetic patients is a heart attack or a fatty liver. If the body cannot flush out ceramides, they are at a larger risk for diabetes. Other major risks of having type 2 diabetes include nerve damage in their extremities, vision issues, and slow healing. Consumers may even find themselves with hearing impairment. The list is long, and none of the problems is good. When these cases meet the worst possible situation, lucky consumers will still have a choice. Some people accept where they are at, understanding that nothing will change their situation without plenty of work. Like the individuals who decide to engage in the Diabetes Freedom Program, others will push as much as they have to for the sake of beating this disease and being with loved ones. Why is diabetes freedom effective? To understand the processes that make diabetes freedom effective, consumers must first understand what the problem actually is. There's a molecule that diabetes freedom addresses like a villain: white fat. This fat will attach itself to organs and cause the arteries to become more rigid progressively. It is credited as the primary cause of type 2 diabetes, so what do consumers need to do? Throughout the program, users will learn what they can use in their own home to rid their bodies of toxic cells. These ingredients aren't exactly a diet for weight loss, but the loss of high sugar levels that can be detrimental to the rest of the body's health. Along with the main tips on lifestyle changes that the user will need to make, the guide goes in depth in the different ways that the pharmaceutical industry has prevented the public from healing. Furthermore, it explains how the powers that be have set up the system in a way that locks them into taking medication for life. Taking medication is just the mediation of a problem, rather than the reversal of it. By taking on the recommendations found in this guide, consumers can completely change their struggle into having none at all. To put it simply, this program works because users are not told repeatedly that the carbohydrates and sugar they consume are the reason they suffer. Instead, they are introduced to flavonoids, lignans, and propanolphenol to help users balance their body's response. While these terms may seem intimidating, the compounds are found in food ingredients that most people already know and love. Celery, squash, carrots, grapes, and even chocolate will give the body what it needs. All of the recipes and recommendations center around delicious foods, preventing users from feeling like they are just missing out. Timing is important, so users will need to pay attention to the time of day they consume each of these foods. They'll look for pesticide-free foods, eliminating the risk of chemicals in the body. As users continue with the regimen, they'll feel more energy than they've had since their diagnosis, helping them to be involved with their life once again. Without the contaminants they previously used to, they'll even reduce oxidative damage and ease inflammation. The health benefits are substantial, but the user has to be ready to say goodbye to their type 2 diabetes for good. You can visit the link in the description below. It will direct you to the official website where you can get your own program before irreversible complications arise. What isn't the Diabetes Freedom Program? While this program encompasses many different regimens that users will be adopting, consumers may be worried that they are getting stuck in another stringent and overwhelming regimen. Many changes are involved, but let's be clear, this is not your average diabetes program. First, users won't have to add a new medication. They may have a medication they take with their doctor's prescription, but Diabetes Freedom doesn't take on this role. Not only does this program not require a new medication, but it isn't a supplement either. There are no formulas to do all of the user's work, and there's no quick fix. Users aren't told to mix up crazy concoctions that they can barely stomach, and there are no massive capsules to consume. Finally, Diabetes Freedom isn't a severe diet that consumers have to give up their entire routine to handle. This program involves commitment, but the changes are relatively easy to adopt, and users won't just spend all of their days in the kitchen preparing from one meal to the next. This program is natural, safe, and effective. Consumers that want a regimen that embodies those healthier habits will likely enjoy Diabetes Freedom greatly. Purchasing access to the Diabetes Freedom Program. To gain access to Diabetes Freedom, users will have a few packages to choose from on the official website. The most cost-efficient option is the digital-only version, which exclusively offers online access to the content for $37. Typically, this program costs $99.95, but all of the options are significantly marked down. The physical package gives users access to the digital content, but they will also be sent physical copies of the materials. The cost is still $37, but users will have to pay for the cost of shipping. In addition to the purchase of Diabetes Freedom, consumers will automatically get access to several bonuses for free. None of the bonuses is required reading for the user, but they all are certainly helpful. About the Fat Burning Blueprint. The Fat Burning Blueprint provides users with a fast way to shed extra weight along their stomach without having to take much time to do it. There are multiple training programs combined to develop this program, offering techniques that aren't normally found anywhere else. Along with the benefits for the user's weight, this guide explains methods that users can apply to improve their skin's tightness and increase energy levels. About the Stay Young Forever program. The Stay Young Forever program teaches consumers about the foods they may consume in their daily diet to cause them to seem more aged than they actually are. However, some people may take on plastic surgery or Botox injections to keep the skin young. However, eating the right foods will change the climate from within for a better complexion. About the 33 Power Foods for Diabetics. In 33 Power Foods for Diabetics, the creators sought out the most comprehensive list of foods to help users reverse their diabetes. With plenty of different recipes or easy-to-grab snacks, users of this program don't have to go hungry. Questions people frequently ask about diabetes freedom. What benefits can users derive from diabetes freedom? Though other programs out there are fairly vague about what users can expect, Diabetes Freedom offers a well-spelt and consistent schedule of what will happen next. In studies of consumers that followed the types, most 85% of users saw majorly reduced blood sugar levels by the end of the second week. By the fourth week, normal blood sugar readings were found by 73% of users. At the end of 8 weeks, 84% of consumers confirm that they've completely obliterated their type 2 diabetes. What happens in the body during the first day of using the Diabetes Freedom program? The first night will come with a definitive transition. The majority of people who participate in the program will feel more energetic, lighter, and even less bloated within this brief time. The creators even suggest checking blood sugar levels after just a week. Duration of medication use before you start seeing results? Though the entire purpose of Diabetes Freedom is to reverse diabetes, going off of medication is not recommended. Always speak with a medical professional to decide what to do with the medication that they currently take. Is Diabetes Freedom a tedious routine to follow? For the first few days, consumers will have to maintain their willpower over bread and soda. However, it doesn't take long for the cravings to go away. Who can see the differences in its nutritional changes? An interesting thing about this program is that it offers versatility. From age 40 to 80, this program can be used to reduce sugar levels. It is for any gender, and it will work for any length of time with a diabetes diagnosis. However, Diabetes Freedom is not designed with any child in mind, so customers that want to help their child with diabetes will need to speak with a pediatrician instead. The customer service team can address any other concerns by sending an email to support@diabetesfreedom.org. Final thoughts. Conclusively, the Diabetes Freedom is for anyone that has been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes and is striving to reverse it. The program is easy to follow, but users will have to adhere to a strict schedule to change. All of the meals and recipes are provided with the content, and users have the choice to add a physical copy of the guide for the cost of shipping or just go digital. Either way, the price is a fraction of what it once was, and users that engage in this regimen are known to permanently reverse their type 2 diabetes. It's hard to conclude definitively about whether or not this product is likely to help you cure your diabetes. We're reluctant to say that any non-traditional medicine can cure any disease. The FDA refuses to evaluate dietary supplements and alternative medicine for this very reason. However, much of the advice in this guide has to do more with getting in shape and eating healthily than anything else. My verdict is that this Diabetes Freedom product is worth the try, as it is a risk-free purchase and gives a legitimate opportunity to learn firsthand from a very reputable source that offers a money-back guarantee if not completely satisfied. People suffering from diabetes should consider improving their overall health by losing weight safely and steadily. Irrespective of the specific philosophy surrounding this guide, it is clear that it might be a helpful aid to people trying to regain control of their weight. Stop the waiting time to act now. You can visit the link in the description below. It will direct you to the official website where you can get your own program before irreversible complications arise.